Congressman Denver Riggleman. He is a Republican from Virginia, also the author of the new book, Bigfoot, It's Complicated, that examines the roots of extreme belief systems. Congressman, it is good to see you. What a fascinating topic for a book, by the way. But look, you've been part of bipartisan talks. You've been outspoken about Congress's inability to agree on a measure to help the American people. What's your level of confidence this latest plan will actually pass?
Well, as we get closer to Christmas, the fact that they split it up this morning between two sections and debating sort of the most, the contentious parts of the COVID bill, I think we now are a little bit more, I would say it's a little bit more likely that we're going to get something passed here before Christmas. And that's what I'm here for. And hopefully they call me back. But it's time to work together. Everybody wants a deal. I just see that at this point with the $750 billion or so, I think that will pass. And let's go ahead and debate the most contentious parts, but let's get the good stuff in and let's get going and do something now.
What does it take Christmas coming to get something done? It's been hundreds of days. There are literally children in America who are going to bed hungry. There are people worried about whether they're going to have a roof over their head in the new year. As somebody who's leaving, open up the floodgates for us. What do you see that's broken? Because the American people surely want to know.
It's always brakemanship and this tribalism that I've seen since I've been in Congress. And it's as if them getting reelected is more important than the people they're serving. And we know that's sort of a fact if you look at the decades of Congress. But it seems to be at this point that tribalism has taken over. And as you see the ridiculousness going on with either conspiracy theories or what's happening during this election, all of our intention has been on this rather than trying to help people. And I think that's where politics are failing. And I think that's where politicians are failing the people. And hopefully I can just continue to serve, do the best I can. But what you're seeing right now is really politics over people rather than putting people first.
Yeah, and arguably in a different realm, one example of that is Vladimir Putin congratulated Joe Biden on his election this morning before Mitch McConnell did. What do you make of Donald Trump's ongoing hold over your party?
It's nonsense. Just this morning, I tracked this. I have a report coming out with the Network Contagion Research Institute on anti-Semitism and conspiracy theories today. And I just saw this morning where the president retweeted Ron Watkins from QAnon. That's ludicrous. I mean, if you're retweeting a chucklehead like that, you sort of lost your realistic base, right? And I think the other thing is he retweeted that the governor and the secretary of state should go to jail. These things we should not be putting out on these type of platforms at all, especially social network platforms. So to a point that, you just got to call a fact a fact. That's what I'm going to do. And that's sort of maybe the facts pariah of the Republican Party right now. But you know what? I'm just going to keep saying what needs to be said, especially based on my background in intelligence and counterterrorism.
You are an Air Force veteran with a background in intelligence. And in fact, in your farewell remarks, you spoke about the disinformation surrounding the election. You talk about chuckleheads. But how dangerous to our democracy are these bad actors, as you have described them?
Incredibly dangerous. That's why I did the bipartisan resolution with Tom Malinowski on QAnon. I've seen radicalism my whole life. I mean, I've been in this business. When you've been on the Serbian border, when you've been in Operation Enduring Freedom right after 9/11, you know how crazy things can get, especially if you don't have a fact-based sort of policy positions on what's going on, or you're putting out radical language or dehumanizing others. And what I've been trying to warn people about is this. The baseline of a lot of these conspiracy theories are anti-Semitic, they're dehumanizing, and they're really just based on fantasy. And I've been just trying to warn people that when you dehumanize others or you make them less than, and you're more worried about your tribe rather than what's good for the people, you can get in real trouble. And, and seeing the things that are happening right now, I think it's more of a grift. I think a lot of this are just, the griftocracy, trying to take money from those people who have been sort of bulldozed by this ridiculousness on social media. And it's going to take people, I think it's going to take some courage to stand up and say, hey, we shouldn't be retweeting nonsense. We shouldn't be pushing conspiracy theories. And we certainly shouldn't be leading people astray on this. I will continue to fight for this. I just can't back down on this.
Well, the president and his campaign are still trying to raise money for election fraud that doesn't exist, that they've not been able to get anywhere with. And in fact, one of your colleagues, Paul Mitchell, said Monday he's leaving the Republican Party over the president's attempt to overturn the election. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about leaving the party?
Of course I have. And that's why Paul Mitchell is such a dear friend of mine and a really brave man. And here's the thing, being an intelligence officer or thinking about, the world that we live in today. And it's a question I have for everybody. do you get out and try to change it from the outside, or do you change it from the inside? And that's the thing that I've been fighting with myself, to be completely blunt. I'm trying to be honest here. How do I do this? I have virtually no support in some sections of the Republican Party in Virginia. Just saying that the Kraken isn't real, gets me censured. Right. In a Republican Party committee meeting yesterday, I was censured for officiating a same-sex wedding a year ago and for saying that conspiracy theories are just ridiculous. Right. How do you keep going like that? And
you
that's
were
the thing that I
censured for a same-sex marriage ceremony.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I think I was the first sitting Republican to officiate a same-sex wedding, and they censured me. I've been censored so many times over the same-sex wedding. I got like a wall of fame, and really a censure doesn't bother me. I care about, being censured as much as I care about missing a Tupperware sale at Walmart. However, what it does affect is other people that could be sort of influenced by this. And if we're not going to be a party of liberty and a party of facts, it's very difficult to stay in it. But I still think I have a chance to change things if I can use honesty, facts-based analysis, right, and try to hit people over the head with facts with as much compassion as I can. But so far, it's been a rough road to hoe, I'll tell you that.
Mm. Well, Congressman Denver Riggleman, keep us posted on how it's going, and thank you for coming on. Good luck with the book.
Oh, I need some luck. Thank you so much right now. I appreciate it.